For a long stretch of company history, title belts were more than prizes in world wrestling entertainment. They were part of the company's identity. A championship could define an era, shape a division, or tell the audience exactly what kind of performer the company valued at a given moment. That is why defunct title belts are so interesting. When a championship disappears, it usually means more than just a belt being retired. It usually means the company has changed course. Some of those vanished titles were tied to divisions the company moved away from. The European Championship, Hardcore Championship, Light Heavyweight Championship, and the original Cruiserweight Championship all reflected specific periods when the company wanted more specialized title lanes on the roster. Later official company material grouped those belts among championships that were retired or simply faded from active use, which tells you they belong to a different presentation philosophy than the one that followed. Other championships disappeared because they were merged into something newer. The original Women's Championship ended when it was unified with the newer Divas Championship in 2010. Then, in another major shift, the Divas Championship itself was retired in 2016 as the company moved away from the Divas branding and introduced a new women's title. That sequence says a lot about how the company's priorities changed. The belts did not just vanish. They were replaced because the company wanted the women's division to be presented differently than it had been before. Some titles disappeared because their entire brand or structure disappeared with them. The ECW Championship ended in 2010 when the company closed that version of the ECW brand. The World Tag Team Championship was later unified out of existence, and the World Heavyweight title that ran from 2002 to 2013 was also retired after unification. These belts were important, but they were tied to brand structures and title systems that the company eventually reorganized. Then there are the more modern examples, which show that this process never really stopped. The NXT Cruiserweight Championship, NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, NXT United Kingdom Championship, NXT UK Women's Championship, and NXT UK Tag Team Championship all appear in official title histories with clear end dates, showing that even in the modern era, the company still creates championships for a particular moment and then moves on from them when that moment passes. The $1 Million Championship also appears in company title history as a belt that was revived and then retired again, which makes it a good example of a title surviving more as a special concept than as a permanent division anchor. That is the real pattern behind defunct title belts in world wrestling entertainment. Some disappear because a division loses importance. Some disappear because they are unified into newer championships. Some disappear because a brand ends. And some disappear because the company decides a certain kind of title simply no longer fits the way it wants to present the roster. In that sense, defunct belts are not just leftovers from the past. They are markers of how the company keeps redefining itself. And that is why old title belts still matter to fans. They are reminders of vanished divisions, abandoned branding, and company ideas that once felt important enough to build entire championships around. A retired belt is never just a belt. It is evidence of a different version of the company, one that, at least for a while, believed that championship needed to exist.